Okay, are we live? All right. Good evening and welcome to the February 3rd, 2025 meeting of the Frankfort Village Board, the regular meeting. We'll call this meeting to order and we'll ask our clerk, Katie Schubert, to take the roll, please. Here.
Trustee Borelli? Here. Trustee Rossi? Here. Attorney Lamore? Present. Village Administrator Pisha?
Here.
Assistant Administrator Barica?
Present.
Chief Chalepis? Here. And Clerk Schubert is here. We have quorum, Mayor.
Thank you, Clerk. If everyone would please stand with me and say the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Next item on here is what's called the unanimous consent agenda. All items on the consent agenda are considered to be routine in nature, and they are enacted in one single motion. There's no separate discussion of these items unless a board member so requests, in which event that item will be removed from the consent agenda and will be considered separately. At this time, I ask if any of the board members would like to remove any of the items from the consent agenda. Hearing none, can I get a motion and a second to approve? We have a motion and a second. We'll go through these items here so that people that are in the audience, as well as those who will be watching later on video, are able to see what your board is voting on. We had the approval of the minutes from the regular meeting on January 13th, 2025, and then we will go to the approval of the bills. We'll go to Trustee Savaria.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Bills tonight equal $807,837.54. Funds making up this amount are the General Corporate Fund at $369,669.61, the Motor Fuel Tax Fund at $1,519.53, Capital Development Fund at $45,570.40, Sewer and Water Operation and Maintenance Fund at $180,241.75, and finally, the Sewer and Water Extension Fund at $210,836.25. Those are the bills.
Thank you, Trustee Savaria. Next, we'll go to some Plan Commission items, and the first one will go to Trustee Burley.
Thank you, Mayor. First item is the All-Purpose Storage Frankfort LLC, 145 Industry Avenue. The applicant, Tim Wilkins, representing the property owner, All-Purpose Storage Frankfort LLC, proposes to construct 4 buildings totaling 32,200 square feet of gross floor area for a self-service storage facility used to be located at 145 Industry Avenue in the I-2 General Industrial District. These buildings will complement the existing non-conforming storage facility, which currently consists of 8 storage buildings. The subject property is approximately 5.6 acres and includes 3 parcels that the property owner intends to consolidate through a plat of subdivision. To accommodate the operation of the storage facility, the applicant is requesting the following: special use permits for a self-storage facility and extended hours of operation, zoning variations to waive the requirement for loading berths and to permit the use of stone veneer, and finally, preliminary and final plat of subdivision approval. At the October 10th, 2024 public hearing on the project, the Plan Commission forwarded 5 unanimous recommendations to the Village Board to approve the request. So the motions before us tonight are the following: to accept the Plan Commission recommendation, waive the first and second readings, and pass an ordinance granting special use permits for a self-storage facility and extended hours of operation of 5 a.m. to 11 p.m. for the property located at 145 Industry Avenue, in accordance with the reviewed plans, public testimony, and findings of fact, and conditioned on final engineering approval. The second is to accept the Plan Commission recommendation, waive the first and second readings, and pass an ordinance granting 2 zoning variances to waive the required loading berths and to permit the use of stone veneer for the property located at 145 Industry Avenue, in accordance with the reviewed plans, public testimony, and findings of fact, and conditioned on final engineering approval. And finally, the final motion as part of this is to accept the Plan Commission recommendation and approve the preliminary and final plat of subdivision for 145 Industry Frankfort Storage, prepared by M. Gingrich, Giroux and Associates, revision dated December 16th, 2024, in accordance with the reviewed plans and subject to any necessary technical revisions, final engineering approval, dedication of any necessary right-of-way, and payment of the cash in lieu fee for the sidewalk along Center Road in the amount of $29,160.
Thank you, trustee Borelli. Now we'll go to trustee Rigoni.
Thank you, Mayor. The next item is Linden Grove subdivision, final plat of re-subdivision and final development plan for 215 Linden Drive. Applicant John Curley proposes the development of an 8-lot, single-family detached residential subdivision known as Linden Grove subdivision on the 3.74-acre site of the former Frankfort United Methodist Church located at 215 Linden Drive. The property is zoned R2 Single Family Residential District with a special use permit for a planned unit development per ordinance number 3471. The applicant requests approval of the final plat of subdivision and final development plan. At the December 12, 2024 non-public hearing on the project, the Plan Commission forwarded 2 unanimous recommendations to the Village Board to approve the final plat of re-subdivision and the final development plan. The motion before us are to accept the Plan Commission recommendation and approve the final plat of re-subdivision for the Linden Grove subdivision prepared by M. Gingrich, Drew and Associates, revision date of January 13th, 2025, in accordance with the reviewed plans, subject to any necessary technical revisions prior to recording and conditioned upon final engineering approval. The next motion is to accept the Plan Commission recommendation and approve the final development plan for Linden Grove subdivision in accordance with the reviewed plans, subject to any necessary technical revisions prior to recording, final engineering approval, and additional subject to the following conditions. 1, the developer shall record the conditions, covenants, and restrictions concurrent with the recording of the final plat of subdivision. 2, any sections of the public sidewalk damaged during construction must be replaced. 3, a public bench shall be installed with the common outlot as illustrated on the approved preliminary plat of re-subdivision and the preliminary engineering plans. 4, all residential lots shall be developed to reflect the architectural elements of one of the 6 architectural styles listed in pages B-5 through B-7 of the Downtown Frankfort Residential Development Guidelines, Appendix B of the 2019 Comprehensive Plan, and that each home shall incorporate a masonry element such as chimney or porch knee wall. 5, there shall be at least 1 house on each street with a side load garage. And 6, the developer shall make a one-time cash payment to the village of $1,000 for 10 caliper inch of preservation trees removed and non-mitigated on site.
Thank you, trustee Rigoni. Now we will go to trustee Ledden.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Item number 3 is the Colada Residence Multiple Zoning Variance located at 890 Glenbar Lane. Applicant property owner Wojciech Colada proposes to build a new 4,135 square foot single-family home on the vacant lot located at 890 Glenbar Lane in the Prestwick subdivision. To accommodate the construction on this existing non-conforming lot in the ER Estate Residential District, the applicant seeks the granting of the following variations: to reduce the required minimum gross floor area from 5,000 square feet to 4,135 square feet, to reduce the minimum lot width from 150 feet to 121.15 feet, to reduce the minimum lot depth from 267 feet to 146.125 feet, and to reduce the minimum lot area from 40,000 square feet to 20,819.3 square feet. At the January 9th, 2025 public hearing on the project, the Plan Commission forwarded 4 recommendations to the Village Board to approve the requested variations. The motion before us this evening is to accept the Plan Commission recommendation to waive the first and second readings and pass an ordinance granting 4 zoning variances to the vacant property located at 890 Glenbar Lane for the construction of a single-family home, a gross floor area variation from 5,000 square feet to 4,135 square feet, a lot width variance from 150 feet to 121.15 feet, a lot depth variance from 267 feet to 146.125 feet, and a lot area variance from 40,000 square feet to 20,819.3 square feet. in accordance with the reviewed plans, public testimony, findings of fact, and conditioned upon final engineering approval. Thank you.
Thank you, trustee Ledden. Next item, we'll go to trustee Rossi.
Curry subdivision preliminary and final plat approval, 9423 West Lincoln Highway. Applicant Lennox Hill Construction, representing the property owner, Kerfin Property Holding, requests approval of the preliminary and final plat for the Curry subdivision. The subject property is located at 9423 West Lincoln Highway in the B2 zoning district. The plat of subdivision will consolidate multiple parcels into a single commercial lot for Curry Motors of Frankfort. At the January 9, 2025 non-public hearing on the project, the Plan Commission forwarded a unanimous 5-0 recommendation to the Village Board to approve the final plat of subdivision. The motion before us tonight is to accept the Plan Commission recommendation and approve the preliminary and final plat of subdivision of Curry subdivision of a planned unit development prepared by Joseph Shute and Associates, dated 12/18/24, in accordance with the reviewed plans, subject to any necessary technical revisions prior to recording and conditioned upon final engineering approval.
Thank you, trustee Rossi. And last item, go to trustee Petro.
Last item is Abbey Woods North Final Plat of Subdivision Approval. The applicant O'Malley Builders seeks approval on the final plat for Abbey Woods North, a 25-lot, single-family, detached residential subdivision located on the south side of St. Francis Road, opposite Waterview Trail. At the January 9, 2025 non-public hearing on the project, the Plan Commission forwarded a unanimous 5-0 recommendation to the Village Board to approve the final plat of subdivision for Abbey Woods North. The motion before us is to accept the Plan Commission recommendation and approve the final plat of a subdivision for Abbey Woods North, prepared by M. Jangaric, Giroux and Associates, revision dated 12/23/24, in accordance with the reviewed plans, subject to any necessary technical revisions prior to recording, conditioned upon final engineering and final landscape plan approval, and the developer shall record the approved conditions, covenants, and restrictions concurrent with the recording of the final plat of subdivision. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Those are all the items that are on the consent agenda tonight, and we have a motion and a second, so we'll go to our clerk, Katie Schubert, for the vote.
Trustee Savaria? Yes. Trustee Rigoni?
Yes.
Trustee Petro?
Yes.
Trustee Borelli?
Yes.
Trustee Rossi?
Yes.
Trustee Ledden?
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you, clerk. Next item on here is what's called the mayor's report. And this Saturday, we had our Fire and Ice Winter Social and Chili Cook-Off. That was our 4th year doing this. Consolidation of several events. This was the largest crowd yet, I believe, that we had out there. And thank you, Trustee Rigoni, for volunteering out there and working on the weekend. So the big competition between our restaurants, and there was not a bad batch of chili out there, and this was all free for sampling. In first place was the Dancing Marlin. They had taken second last year. Second place was Trail's Edge, and third place, Fat Rosie's. Great event, and keeps getting better. Frankfort Restaurant Week is in full swing. It's sponsored by the Frankfort Restaurant Association, and this is also the 3rd year we started this, partly because we have over 60 restaurant food licenses here and more than 20 chef-driven restaurants, and this really built a lot of awareness for restaurants, and what a wonderful place Frankfort is to come and eat. This event runs from January 30th through February 9th, so you don't want to miss the opportunity to explore some of the best local Frankfort restaurant cuisine. For a list of the participating restaurants and more details, you can go to frankfortra.com. Not every restaurant that is in Frankfort is part of that group, so there's still quite a few that you can do. So if you're hungry, come to Frankfort. We got plenty of food here for you. The Village of Frankfort is currently accepting vendor applications for the 2025 Frankfort Country Market season. The season kicks off on Sunday, April 27th and continues through October 26th. Applications are available at the Village Administration Building, which is here at 432 West Nebraska, or on the Village website, which is frankfortil.org. In observance of the President's Day holiday on Monday, February 17th, the Village of Frankfort offices will be closed. Our regular scheduled board meeting will be held on Tuesday, February 18th, and will begin at 7 p.m. The public is invited to join the Frankfort Police Department for our next Coffee with a Cop event, and that is going to be on Thursday, February 20th, and it's from 8:30 a.m. to 10 a.m. at Grounded Coffee, which is at 19 Ash Street, corner of Ash and Kansas. There's no agendas, no speeches, just a chance to ask questions, voice your concerns, and get to know the Frankfort police officers that are in your neighborhood. And speaking of that, we have applications are now being accepted for the Citizens Police Academy, which is set to begin on Thursday, March 20th. It's from 7 to 9:30 p.m. at the Will County Sheriff's Building, which is 16911 West Laraway Road. This is a free 10-week program, and it offers community members an inside look at law enforcement operations and procedures. Definitely want to sign up today. Space is limited. Contact Officer Michael Pizzera at mpazera@frankfortil.org for additional information and applications. This is an amazing program. I've gone through it more than once over the years, and you see what really happens in our legal system, how police operate, not what you see on TV, how the legal and justice system actually works. You'll really enjoy it. So that's it for the mayor's report tonight, and we'll go to our clerk, Katie Schubert, for board comments.
Thank you, Mayor Ogle. Our next meeting is the Committee of the Whole meeting, which will be Wednesday, February 12th, here at 5:30. And as Mayor Ogle stated, because of the President's Day holiday, our next village board meeting will be Tuesday, the 18th at 7 o'clock here. Also looking ahead, we do have our early voting will be starting March 17th for the consolidated election for April 1st, so not far away. And that's all I have.
All right, thank you, clerk. Trustee Ledden.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'm just going to mention the Fire and Ice, another really great event. Thanks to Sue Lynchy and to everybody on the village staff for putting that together, the police for all the work that they did for it, and everybody up here who was able to go and participate. Great turnout. The restaurants did a fabulous job, and to do that on top of Restaurant Week, they got a lot going on. So, like the mayor said, I would encourage people to go out and enjoy those, see those restaurants, enjoy those specials. That's all I have.
All right, thank you. Trustee Savaria.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I do want to echo Trustee Ledden's comments about Fire and Ice. It was a great event, and I made it out there towards the end. Congratulations to the participants, Dancing Marlin, Trail's Edge, Fat Rosie's, and get out and enjoy Frankfort. I've already made it to a couple of the restaurants, looking to hit a couple more this week. So Frankfort's a great place to eat. Enjoy Frankfort's restaurant week. So that's all I have.
All right, thank you, Gene. Trustee Rigoni.
Thank you, Mayor. Again, going to echo with Fire and Ice. I heard, if not once, twice, about 50 times on what a fantastic event that came from our residents. So thank you to village staff for everything on that. I'd like to welcome the 6 new businesses that we issued business license with in January. As I say, thank you for choosing Frankfort. Also like to note that we did have a lot of Plan Commission items. I think there was about 6 of them. There is a lot of behind-the-scenes work that goes on with the applicants as well as on with village staff. The packet's online that you can see everything that we get to make these decisions. So I'd like to extend my thanks to staff because it was a pretty big packet this week. Also, that our 9 p.m. routine about making sure that we keep our door, lock our car doors and not leave valuables out. I would like to extend that to an all-day thing, whether we think that we're just quickly running inside the store or whatnot. Make sure that we keep our valuables out of place. Make sure that we lock our car doors, whether it's in our driveway or our parking lot. And that's it, Mayor.
Thank you. That's great advice. Trustee Petro.
Thank you, Mayor, especially when we're warming up the car this time of year. I just also want to echo thank you to staff and everybody who put on the Fire and Ice, the chili, all the participants. We had some new entrants this year. They were all delicious, and the weather actually was a little bit cooperative, so that was wonderful to see. Frankfort Restaurant Week is a really great time to go out and try a new restaurant. I'd like to say the flavors of Frankfort. They put a good tasting menu together, and you can try different things that maybe you haven't thought of tasting before. So a great opportunity to get out there and try some new restaurants as well. And it's cold out, so nothing better to do than eat. Thank you.
Okay. Trustee Borelli.
Thank you, Mayor. I will just echo all the great things that have been said by this side of the dais, so I'll leave it there. Thank you.
All right. Trustee Rossi?
Mr. Mayor, I have no report tonight. Thank you.
Okay, well, thank you. Is there any other business for the board tonight? Okay. Now we're at the point, what we call public comment. Is there anyone in the audience who'd like to come forward and make a public comment? Yes, come on up.
Evening, everyone. My name is Nick Spano, and since last February, I've had the honor and privilege of serving as a trustee on the Frankfort Fire Protection District Board. As one of two candidates running for 2 spots here for a 6-year term here in April, I'm very hopeful and lucky to hopefully be doing it for the next 6 years as well. So over the past year, I've spent a lot of time learning about the Fire Protection Board, what we do, what makes us different from what the Village Board is, and those differences, and trying to explain it to constituents and that across the board. That being said, despite those differences, we share a very common theme of wanting to make sure that the residents here at Frankfort are safe, feel protected, and understand that this is a very welcoming and open community. So that being said, I wanted to come here today just to really say hello and introduce myself to everyone here. I understand oftentimes trustees get questions, comments, concerns about what's going on at the fire department, the fire district. And sometimes it's easier to reach out to somebody if you know who they are to begin with. So with that, I'll leave each of you one of my cards that has all my contact information on it. Every other board member, all of our contact information is on the fire protection website. So don't feel obligated to reach out to me. I know many of you know other members of the board. Feel free to reach out to them. And again, also encourage, if other questions, comments from constituents, yourselves, reach out directly to Chief Fierce, as he's a great advocate and explainer of what's going on. That's all. So, hi.
Thank you. That's really great information. It's, if you have a question, is to reach out to trustees or the administrator, or in those cases, the chief, to get accurate information. Thank you, Nick. Yep. If there's no other public comment, I would ask for a motion and a second to adjourn. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everyone. Have a great night and week.